What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 56 of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. My name is Blaze, and before we get into the battle here, I wanted to go over a theory that I kind of thought up in my own brain, and then later on discovered that other people had come to that conclusion already. The theory kind of goes in line with UB-01 for Pokemon Sun and Moon. It looks like this Pokemon, it's a special ultra rare beast or ultra beast or something like that. And I kind of went over a brief description of it, and well, I guess I didn't really go over a description of it last time, did I? Let me go ahead and do that real quick. But I feel like this Pokemon bears a striking resemblance to a character that we've already seen before, and I think that we're going to get into that a little bit later in just a second here. But let me read the description for that Pokemon, because I think that's very important that we get that information out there. I'm not sure how Ultra Beasts are going to be incorporated into the game. I kind of feel like that they're from a different dimension, possibly. If you are seeing on your screen, my video is kind of wigging out on me. I apologize. There it is. Alright, so the description for UB-01 is this. So UB-01's body is composed of glass-like substance, however is constantly changing shapes, never settling on one. While evidence of something like a survival instinct can be observed in UB-01, no one knows whether it has a will of its own or any emotions. It's said that for some reason its movements resemble those of a young girl. So, looking at this Pokemon, one other thing to add to that is that Ultra Beasts are a new concept introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon. The true nature of the beasts are not yet known, but they possess powers that could pose a threat to humans and Pokemon. So, looking at this Pokemon, it does look very much like a young girl. It looks like someone that we've seen before in a previous trailer for Pokemon Sun and Moon, but since that time, we've not seen this character in any other trailers, in any other concept art, anywhere else in the newly released trailers or anything like that. So I kind of feel like they showed off this character and then kind of purposefully avoided her so that they could show off this Pokemon and then kind of get your brain ticking. So this, of course, is the character. This is Lily, Kookwai's mysterious assistant. Now, looking at the two pictures, I mean, you can see that her hair kind of flows down on her back. She has the two braids dangling from just behind her ears, and of course the dress. Now, this Pokemon doesn't look necessarily exactly the same, but it does have the dreads, and it does have the hair, which is a bit longer, dangling down from her back. So, for me, I believe this Pokemon is either, and I don't want to say this out loud because I don't want it to be true, but this Pokemon could at some point fuse with Lily and give us a Pokemon, a beast that we've never seen before. It could be a Pokemon that takes control of Lily and makes her a different, not character, but makes her a different entity, or it could be something that's that just doesn't have anything to do with anything. It could be its own thing. Maybe it's like a Ditto kind of a thing where it doesn't take on the exact look, but maybe it fuses with Lily or gets into her brain or something just enough to take on her looks and her identity, or just a mirror of her image. So for me, I'm willing to bet this Pokemon UB-01 comes from a different dimension, because you can see it coming out of a wormhole of some kind as it emerges in the Japanese trailer, which I can't show you because I made a video over the weekend about the two trailers that were released last week, and Nintendo blocked it because it had Japanese footage in it. So I won't do that. But it looks like it comes through a wormhole. It looks like it might even come from a different universe. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire touched on the idea that there would be different universes in Pokemon, and that might be how you get Generation 1 as being no dark type Pokemon, and only 150 in the whole game. And that could be a whole different universe than what Omega Ruby Ruby, wow. That's a different kind of game, folks. Don't play that. If someone offers you that, don't. But Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, it could be a different universe or timeline or something along that line than the original games. So, UB-01 does look a lot like Lily. I'm willing to bet. I don't want to think that Fusion is in the game because I'm not really a big fan of Fusion when it comes to human and Pokemon Fusion. Maybe it's just kind of a look that this Pokemon takes on. Maybe it doesn't have a physical form, and it takes on this look because Lily is the first person that it ever sees. So, you know, who knows? I don't know what the full story is. And again, I'm not the first one to come up with this theory, to be honest with you, but it was something I thought of on my own, and it just so happens that other people thought of the same thing, which is common out there in the internet. So, you know, what do you think in the comments below? Post it. I'd like to hear what you have to say about UB-01 and Lily being either one and the same, being a a visual representation of what the Pokemon expects people to see it as, or if it's just a coincidence. Maybe it has nothing to do with it. Now I kind of look at UB-01 and I look at like underneath the little sundress hat that you see there. It looks like there's a place for a person to kind of put the hat on. So maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it's some kind of a temporary like mind meld kind of thing where if you put this thing on your head, it reads your thoughts in your minds and kind of becomes not you, but becomes like a representation of you, and it understands you much better and begins to look like you as well. So who knows? I wanted to bring that up because I thought it was a cool theory, and we have not seen this character Lily in any trailer since like the very first trailer when they showed off the starters, or second trailer, whatever it was. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get into a battle here, and I'm going to open up 4 packs of cards as well. So if you caught my episode yesterday, you saw that I'm playing with my Dehydrated deck. I made a couple of adjustments to it today because I feel like these adjustments are going to be good. I added Melodic and Phoebus, and I added a couple of other trainer cards because I felt like I needed to. My good buddy Wolf Hero, big supporter on my channel, love the guy, or girl, I'm not sure, love this person, and thank you for subscribing. But I did mention that Shauna, that maybe I should replace my Shauna with a Professor Birch's Observation or a Chorus. And as much as I like Professor Birch's Observation, it's a coin flip, and you either get 4 cards or 7 cards. Now, 4 is not much less than 5, so maybe it's a better option. And 7 is much more, so again, maybe it's a better option. But I like having the 5. You know, it's not like in where if you have 6 prize cards left, you get 6 cards, and it gets lower the better you're doing. In fact, I'd probably take this out for Professor Birch's, and I probably wouldn't, to be honest. I'll probably take this out for something else. But the disruption is very good, so I put a couple of Wallies in there so I can get Melodic out quickly. And that's really about it. Not really too much different than the last time you've seen it. But we're going to go into a couple of versus matches here because this deck is far from tournament ready. And we're also going to open up 4 packs of Fates Collide because Fates Collide has the cards that I want in order to make my Fighting Fit deck better, which I'm going to play that on Friday. So stay tuned for that. And I'm really hoping that they open up the 24-ticket tournament. And I'm going to feel really bad if I play that tournament and I'm out in the first round. I'm probably going to hate myself for it because I have 37 tickets right now, and I'm not really saving up for anything. I just don't want to play a tournament and get out in the first round. So, and it's probably it's probably safer to play in like an 8-ticket tournament, but I just, I'm okay with it. It's fine. I'm not concerned. So anyway, so I have potential here to get out Melodic pretty quickly. This actually has a pretty good attack to get any 3 cards, put them into your hand. That Clear Search, that's a pretty good attack. It is an attack, so your turn's over after you do it. And it's not bad. I mean, this Pokemon has 110 HP, so it's not bad. And it may come in handy in this deck specifically, but we'll see how that goes. I could literally grab a rare candy and Greninja and just have it ready, and then another card too to kind of counteract my bench. So let's go ahead and grab Phoebus. Put him on the bench now. This is probably your typical Night March deck. I have a feeling that's what this is going to be. Night March is very much reliant on getting Pokemon with Night March into your discard pile, and then just doing the Night March attack, which can deal a significant amount of damage if you're not careful. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. I don't predict it's going to go very well. And to be honest, this deck it's not a great deck. I kind of slapped it together because I was trying to get a water challenge completed, like do 1,000 damage or evolve X number of Pokemon. So it's really not that greatest deck. So if I do happen to make some mistakes or screw it up, you know, oh gosh, he's gonna kill my Phoebus. I worked so hard to get that thing out too. Oh, never mind. If you're gonna do that, kill the Pokemon that you bring out, right? I mean, that's how I feel. Maybe it's just me, but if you're gonna do that, kill the Pokemon that you're gonna bring out. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put another Phoebus down. I'm going to go ahead and evolve it. And that may be a bad idea, but in this attack, I'm going to get 3 cards. I'm going to go ahead and grab a Rare Candy, Greninja, if Greninja's here. Yep, Greninja. I may as well grab Articuno. I shouldn't grab that. No, let's not do that. Greninja's fine. Rare Candy, and what else do I need? That's probably... Let me grab another... Nah. Yeah, let me grab this here, because I'm going to need some energy to start discarding it. So this has worked out pretty good so far. To be able to get the cards that I need here. Okay. That's worked out pretty good, so I can't really be upset. You know, I get some bonuses here, which is great. What's the bonus? 25 coins. All right. So getting our way here to Porygon. I want these cards. I have these cards already, but I want a second Porygon Z. That'd be pretty fun. And I want to be able to build a deck, not really around this card, but with this card included. I think that'd be fun. And I think there is a card that allows you, a supporter card that allows you to grab 2 colorless Pokemon, or up to 3 or something like that, and put it into your hand, or your bench, something like that. So that'd be cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the collection, open up 2 Fates Collides pack. Now, just as a heads up, I do have 1,600, almost 1,700 coins, or tokens, and I'll be buying some stuff on Friday with those tokens. So hang tight for that. Probably some more Fates Collides pack, because I want to be able to get the cards I'm looking for and add those to my Fighting Fit deck. So, what's this going to be? Boom, 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 boom. No. Oh, Carbink, another one. Wormadam. What's it going to be? The other Carbink. Okay. So, this Carbink's not as good. Basic energy attached to your basic Pokemon can't be discarded by attacks, abilities, or trainers. Stone Edge does 60 damage plus 30 more on a heads flip. It's not bad, but it's not the other one, and we'll get to that in a second. The other one's amazing. Pretty basic Lucario. I call it a basic Lucario because it has just 2 attacks that don't have any extra things going on. Whimsicott, Light Steps is 40 damage and moving energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. I mean, for 1 energy cost, that's not bad. You can attack, and you also don't run the risk of this Pokemon getting knocked out with energy cards attached to it. It goes to your bench, so that's not bad. So Wormadam, I don't know. It's 100 HP. Strike back is 20 times the number of damage counters on this Pokemon, so up to 180 damage, not bad. Iron Hand, flip a coin until you get tails and do 20 more damage for each heads. So this card is actually not too bad for a Steel-type Pokemon. It evolves from Burmy. It's weird to me that this is a Steel-type, but it is what it is. So, not bad on that one. Last is special, draw a card for each of your opponent's benched basic Pokemon. I don't really see the use in that because they have to have benched Pokemon, but not only that, they have to have benched basic Pokemon, so it's very specific as to whether or not you're going to get to draw any cards. Maybe the first couple of turns, or maybe if they have all EX Pokemon like that jerk yesterday, but either way, this is the one that's good. Carbink, speaking of that jerk yesterday, he had all EX Pokemon in his entire deck. That's all that he had. Carbink, one of this card in that deck would have ruined his day because it prevents all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon EX. So if this was just in my active Pokemon slot, I literally could do whatever I wanted to and let him run out of cards. That's how I could have won, because even if I didn't have any fighting energy in my hand or in my deck, this could just stall him until he has nothing left. So that does not prevent abilities. So if the Pokemon, I think like Alakazam, has an ability that puts like 30 damage on him, that's not prevented, and any non-EX Pokemon can still attack you and knock you out. So while this is great, and I think there needs to be more cards like this, because let's face it, Pokemon EX cards are pretty overpowered, I mean, to say the least, and it's too easy to put too many of those cards in your hand. I've talked enough about Pokemon EX cards. I'm not going to talk about them anymore today, promise. So Finnegan, Tail Whip is flip a coin, and defending Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. Meowth, 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon that has any damage counters on it already. I like this card, but it's very specific, and it's challenging to get a Pokemon to deal damage to a benched Pokemon and then be able to use this attack for 50 extra damage. So I suppose if you pair it up with Greninja, and maybe that's a good idea to put it into that deck. But you know, it's tough to get this Pokemon out and then also deal that damage. Volibey, flip a coin, and paralyze on heads and cutting windows 40. Not a bad card for a basic. Not bad at all. I mean, the 3 energy cost is kind of high, but aside from that, not bad. And then Deerling. This is useful in a deck where you need certain cards. And this is search your deck for any Pokemon, any evolution, any basic Pokemon. It's a good card if you need to get your bench set up. Maybe not the best alternate to Shaman EX, but still a good card if you need to set up. And it's cheap, so if you saw that, I had 10 of those cards, so it's not expensive at all. This is the second pack of the day. I'm really hoping for a Carbink Break. That's what I'm looking for. Carbink Break. I didn't get it. But there's some good cards in here. So this is the crap Carbink that we saw earlier. Rubbish, maybe, if that's how you feel. So Omastar Break has an ability with 140 HP. I almost would like to use Omastar in my deck, but I feel like he's kind of hard to get out onto your bench. I've never tried it. Maybe I'll try it soon. But anyway, so reading this ability, I have to read it sideways, so hold on a second. Once during your turn, you may switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon EX with his or her active Pokemon. So you can draw out your opponent's Pokemon EX, and that's even if it's on the bench. This doesn't have to be your active. So if you know that your opponent has an EX and you want to kill it, this is a good move to use. Audino Spirit Link, we know what Spirit Link does. Your turn does not end if you evolve. So Dugong, 20 damage with Freezing Breath and Paralyzation on a Heads flip, but also a Sleep. The Sleep condition on a Tails flip. So that's not too bad. I think 4 energy for 100 damage is kind of about average. It shouldn't be average. It's a little bit high for 100 damage. Maybe 3 would be better. But it's for water Pokemon, I feel like that's kind of the standard attack. 4 energy for 100 damage. Bent Spoon, prevent all effects of attacks except damage done to this Pokemon. Pokemon Tool card. This is a good card if you don't want to be paralyzed, poisoned, asleep, or burned. I almost would want it in my deck. But so Iron Defense, flip a coin. If heads, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, on your opponent's next turn. I think that counts even if you switch. It's kind of like a Harden or something like that. Binacle, swing around for 10 plus, do 20 more damage for each heads flip 2 coins. Larvitar, Reckless Charge, 10 damage to itself. Cottony, just 10 damage. And of course, Riolu, Smash Punch, but if you flip tails, you do nothing. So let's go ahead and go into another match here, because I think it's time for a victory. What do you think? I think it's time for a victory. It's a little overdue. I mean, yeah, technically the last match was a victory, but, you know, I don't know if I want to count that or not. I'm just really hoping that, you know, I don't go up against someone who has all EX Pokemon. I'm willing to bet this person has Magearna EX. I saw that he has Steel-type Pokemon in his deck. It would not surprise me if he has Magearna. And if he has Magearna, he probably has like 3 other EX Pokemon as well. So literally he could have anything. So I think last match it worked out very well with this card. Melodic doing the clear search and getting any 3 cards into my hand for the next turn. That was... And it's got enough HP that it's going to survive for the most part until I'm ready to... until I'm ready to either attack with it or just let it get knocked out. But for at least 2 turns, I can go ahead and use clear search. But so I made a mistake. A second ago I said that Magearna had that ability. Magearna's ability might be different. I think it's Hoopa that has the good ability that lets you search for any cards. So as I was right, he's got, you know, he's got Pokemon EX cards, so, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain about them today any more than I already have. I think you understand my position on EX Pokemon cards. I don't like them. There needs to be a limitation. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I may as well go ahead and do this. Whatevs. That might buy me some time. And I'm going to go ahead and get a Frogadier out. I think the only ones that I have in this deck are the ones that paralyze. The other one can put a copy or can put up to 3 Frogadier on your bench, which is great. But I only need Frogadier so I can evolve into Greninja. That's the only reason I use him. Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and heal that. And this is going to be a tough battle. I can tell you right now, even if I do get to a point where I might pull it off, it's going to be difficult for me to get there. I may be able to paralyze, but I don't want to run the risk of, you know, he needs to go ahead and just get knocked out. Well, he can increase his damage pretty quickly. He should have attached an energy here to go ahead and knock him out. I'm not sure why he didn't do that. I'm going to go ahead and use in again because honestly I need different cards. Which this deck does suffer from that quite a bit. It doesn't have the cards that I need to get the items or the Pokemon that I need right away. So I find myself doing that quite a bit. I guess I'll do 10 damage. I don't know if I even want to do that. He's just gonna knock me out, put that energy in the discard pile. But I have 3 others, so I'm not too worried. There it is. I told you. That's what I would have done. I would have done that last turn though, because you know, in next turn, if he has Psychic Energy in his hand at all, he's just gonna knock out Frogadier. And if I don't have anything to put on the bench, it's over. This Hoopa was up for a second there. If you're quick, you may be able to just see that is, I think, the card that we were talking about earlier. So there's Manaphy. I want to use Manaphy in this deck. I think that would be a good Pokemon to use. So, fun fact, my mouse just died. So, I can still use the touchpad here on my laptop, but it's not going to be the same experience. So, if I struggle to put cards in play, it's not because I've had anything to drink. It's because my mouse battery died. So when he brings up Manaphy, I want to show you what that looks like, because I think that's the one that lets you, that reduces, what am I trying to say? It makes the retreat cost of every Pokemon 0. So I think it's just an ability. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's go ahead and get Phoebus up in here. This is going to be really tough because all it takes is one Lysandra. If he has the Lysandra in his hand, this Phoebus is dead. That's, you know, and that's really my only hope to win any kind of a battle here. Or if I paralyze him. If I paralyze him, I'm in good shape there too. But that's going to be extremely tough. And no. So Lysandra's going to win this game for him. So when you play from your hand, evolve one of your Pokemon, you may put a card from the discard pile into your hand. So this really is not going to come in much handy. He just did a ton of damage. I don't even remember how much. I didn't see how much that was. The damage that he did was, what was it? 90? Yeah, 90 damage to my Pokemon. So I guess I can go ahead and grab a card from my discard pile, which I don't even know if I want to do that. I guess I'll grab a in. I mean, that might be fine. It's really the only choice I have to get anything on my bench going. And even right now, if he attaches another Psychic Energy, it's over. So I'm going to go ahead and play this in. It was really the only option I could have done. So, okay, let's take a look at this Manaphy. Manaphy EX. Each of your Pokemon that has any water energy attached to it has no retreat cost. And heal 30 damage from each of your benched Pokemon with Mineral Pump. So it's actually a pretty good attack for 2 water energy. And 60 damage, 120 HP. I think for an EX, it's probably a little bit below the threshold of what an EX should be. So I'd say 150 HP would be better. And if its damage was like 80 or 90, that would be a little bit more acceptable as far as an EX Pokemon goes. But I think some of these Pokemon that are called EX Pokemon are just simply not, they're just simply too powerful to be called EX Pokemon, or to have no limitation. But, and by that I mean by how many Pokemon you could have, how many of those types of Pokemon you can have in your deck. But I've talked enough about it. You know, if you agree, definitely post in the comments, because you know, maybe we could be a force for change. I don't know. It's going to take a lot of people to speak up about it. And I think most people are just okay with the fact that, you know, EX Pokemon are out there, and that you can just put as many as you want in your deck, you know, because you paid for the booster packs, you spent tons of money on it, you know, it is what it is. So, anyway, let's open up this pack. Fates Collide. I'm hoping for a Carbink Break is what I'm looking for. I can add it to my Fighting Fit deck, which I'm going to use on Friday in a tournament. And what's it going to be? Okay, we've got one new card. Whismer. I got another Fighting Energy, though, so that's pretty cool. What's it going to be? Oh, I have this already. I've gotten like 3 of this card. The other 2 are like, they're different artwork. But I have 3 of this card. I don't need 3 of this card. I'm gonna have to make a deck built around it. But I don't even have any Mega Altaria or Altaria EX. So whatever. So round is 10 damage times the number of Pokemon that have the round attack. Strong Energy, of course, is gonna add 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And you can only attach it to fighting Pokemon. Double Colorless is always good to have. You know, provides 2 colorless energy. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, put all basic energy attached to that Pokemon into your hand. Spoink has Rocket Jump, but if there's a Tails Flip, it does nothing. Larvitar. So discard the top card of your opponent's deck. I do believe that my videos are a little bit better quality. I haven't watched them on YouTube. When I watch them on my computer, they're actually pretty solid. So Bolt 10 damage and Heal 10 damage. The reason I bring it up is because I think you're able to read these cards now. I'm just going to read them for you anyway, just in case. We just saw that card a minute ago. Find a Friend. Of course, I have 11 of these cards now. Probably more if they're in a different set. Ruckus, 50 damage, but if Tails, it does nothing. So I've got one more of this pack to open up. I am going to be opening all of these packs throughout the week. I was going to wait until one of my videos got 10 likes to open them all up in one fail swoop, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned with that anymore. If you do happen to like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I do videos every Monday through Friday on the Pokemon trading card game. I'd love your support, and I do appreciate you watching today. This will be the last pack, and then I'll probably shut the video down after that. But let's see what we get. Let's see what it's gonna be. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Another Carbink. Alright. I'm gonna close my eyes. Don't tell me what it is. Oh, it's Mr. Mime. Ugh. Great. I already have that card too. So there's a Kangaskhan here though, which I think is just a different artwork for an existing Kangaskhan. But Mr. Mime's Mimic, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw a number of cards equal to the number of cards in your opponent's hand. Juggling is 20 damage times the number of heads after 4 coin flips. Duosion's kind of a neat Pokemon, but you kind of have to fill your entire deck with Duosion and Solosis. And the Stage 2. The name escapes me at the moment. I apologize. There's 700, 800 Pokemon. I can't remember all their names. Kangaskhan, 100 damage with Mega Punch, and then Tiny Punch is 40 damage. Not bad for 120 HP. I think Mega Kangaskhan is better because you get to draw a card, but that one's not bad if you just need something to fill your deck. The weakness to fighting can be a pain, though. Omanite's Water Gun does 30 damage. Duosion, we just saw that one a second ago. Another Carbink. Of course, if you don't have this card, I can trade this to you because this is a good card, and it will help you defeat EX Pokemon in a fighting deck especially. And you'll get to see my Fighting Fit deck on Friday, or you can go back to one of my previous videos and watch it. There's some good stuff there. Burmy, Bronzor. Again, we saw that earlier. Finnegan, we saw this card earlier. And Riolu, we saw that one earlier as well. So there you have it. 4 packs of cards opened up live on camera. Guys, I do thank you for watching so much. I'll be back tomorrow with another exciting episode of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. Until then, be good to each other.